When I was a child growing up as a Reformed Jew, I remember being taught that it's harder to be a Reformed Jew than an Orthodox Jew, because in Orthodox Judaism, everything is laid out, you know exactly what you're supposed to do, and in Reformed Judaism, everything's laid out, but with decisions for each individual and each community to make. And so not only do we need to practice our religion, we have to each decide how we're going to do that. Now, I'm not going to say that the first part of that, what I was taught as a child, is actually correct. I won't cast aspersions on Orthodox Judaism by saying it's easy to observe all the mitzvot that Orthodox Jews observe. But what I'd like to focus on instead is the challenge that we have when we have to make decisions. You know, most years when we approach the High Holy Days, we know when the services are. And if you're like me and most members of our congregation, we go to the services when they're scheduled. Last year, in the grip of a global pandemic, before any of us was vaccinated, the choice was painfully easy, that we all needed to stay in our own homes. We at the temple worked hard in preparation to prepare pre-recorded services that we streamed on the High Holy Days, and we were so gratified by the fact that so many of you told us how meaningful those services were in ways that you didn't expect at all. This year, many of us, at least if we're 12 years old or older, are vaccinated. And our COVID task force has put into place guidelines by which many of us will feel safe worshiping in person. That's a decision that each person has to make on their own. And it's going to be a hard decision for many people. But you know what? Whichever decision you make or your family makes is going to be the right decision for you. This year's a little harder. We do have to decide, are we going to worship in person, or are we going to stay at home and take in the service via live stream? Either way, what I really hope is that this year we will all take full advantage of holding Mishkan HaNefesh, our magnificent High Holy Day prayer book, in our hands. If you come to the temple, of course you're going to be handed the prayer book. If you're worshiping from home, though, please contact our office today and arrange to borrow a full set of Mishkan HaNefesh to be used throughout the High Holy Days, so that you can enjoy not only the words and the music on the screen, but also the magnificent way that the editors and producers of Mishkan HaNefesh have laid out our High Holy Day prayer books in the book with art. However you're going to observe these High Holy Days, I pray that you will experience a Shana Tova Umtuka, a good and sweet new year, a year of contemplation, a year of each of us doing our part to bring this world closer to the healing that it so dearly needs. I pray that it will be a year of peace and good health and blessing in every household of Congregation B'nai Israel and around the world. L'Shana Tova, everybody, and please join me as we give thanks to God for keeping us in life and sustaining us to reach this joyous season. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shechianu v'kiyamanu v'giyanu lazman hazeh.